The TSA just released their 2026 confiscation data, and item number 3 is so bizarre that airport security agents needed additional training to identify it. We're talking about 94,367 prohibited items seized at checkpoints across 440 U.S. airports, representing a 23% increase from 2025. The average monetary value of confiscated items reached $847 per checkpoint per day, totaling over $136 million in seized property. Here's what's shocking. 67% of travelers claimed they forgot the item was in their bag. But repeat offenders, passengers caught multiple times in 1 year, account for 31% of all confiscations. The average security delay caused by a prohibited item is 4.3 minutes. Multiply that across 2.9 million daily passengers, and you're looking at 12,470 hours of cumulative delays per day. Let's count down from number 10 to the most confiscated item causing absolute chaos at TSA checkpoints. Number 10. Oversized liquids and gels. TSA confiscated 6,284 oversized liquid containers in 2026, down 18% from 2025. The 311 rule still applies. 3.4 ounces maximum per container, all fitting in one quart-sized bag. But travelers at airports with new CT scanners assume size restrictions disappeared. They didn't. Average value per item, $34. Total value, $213,656. The most commonly seized items? Premium whiskey bottles purchased duty-free and forgotten during layovers. TSA agents at JFK confiscated an $840 bottle of Macallan 25-year Scotch from a passenger who bought it in London and forgot to check it in Toronto. Skincare products represent 42% of liquid confiscations. Luxury moisturizers, serums, and sunscreens lead the list. One passenger at LAX had 14 skincare products over 3.4 ounces each, totaling $670 in confiscated cosmetics. TSA agents report passengers argue these rules more than any other category. "It's just lotion," and "I've brought this through before" are constant refrains. The most unusual confiscation? A 32-ounce jar of homemade pickles at Nashville International. The passenger insisted pickles weren't liquid. TSA disagreed. The pickle juice qualified. Number 9. Tools and hardware. Tools and hardware saw 7,129 confiscations, up 34% from 2025. Contractors and DIY enthusiasts packing work tools and carry-ons drive this increase. Average value, $58 per item. Total value, $413,482. Most commonly confiscated? Screwdrivers over 7 inches, wrenches, pliers, hammers, and saw blades. TSA allows tools shorter than 7 inches in carry-ons. Anything longer gets checked. The Leatherman Wave multi-tool alone accounted for 1,847 confiscations. Despite a 3.5-inch blade, its locking mechanism classifies it as prohibited. Leatherman owners are reportedly the most argumentative passengers, citing online forums claiming the tool is allowed. Power tool batteries, particularly lithium-ion over 100 watt-hours, represented 890 confiscations. Milwaukee, DeWalt, and Makita high-capacity batteries topped the list. The weirdest case? A passenger at Denver attempted to bring a fully assembled chainsaw in carry-on luggage. Their explanation: traveling to help family with storm cleanup and didn't want it stolen from checked bags. They abandoned the $340 chainsaw rather than pay a checked bag fee. Number 8. Sporting equipment. TSA seized 8,431 pieces of sporting equipment, up 29% from 2025. The pickleball boom is the primary driver. Paddles with metal edges and weighted training paddles accounted for 2,100 confiscations. Average value, $67 per item. Total value, $564,877. Baseball bats made up 1,980 confiscations, with collectors carrying signed bats to prevent damage. A passenger at Chicago O'Hare had a bat signed by the entire 1978 Yankees team, valued at $3,200. Ski poles, 1,340 confiscations, concentrated at Colorado, Utah, and Montana airports. Despite clear guidelines, skiers consistently pack them in carry-ons, claiming they're expensive and might get stolen. Golf clubs saw 980 confiscations. A passenger at Phoenix Sky Harbor attempted to bring a complete 14-club set in a soft-sided carry-on, arguing that if the bag fits overhead, the contents should be allowed. The bizarre outlier? A passenger at Orlando tried to bring a full-sized compound bow worth $1,800. Rather than check it for $35, they paid $240 for overnight shipping. Which confiscated item surprises you most? Drop a comment below. Number 7. Sharp objects and blades. Sharp objects excluding knives saw 9,847 confiscations. This includes scissors over 4 inches, box cutters, razor blades, and hobby blades. Average value, $23 per item. Total value, $226,481. Scissors over 4 inches from the pivot point accounted for 4,230 confiscations. Hairstylists traveling with professional shears are primary offenders. Often unaware scissors exceeding 4 inches must be checked. Result: confiscation of $200 to $400 professional shears. Box cutters and utility knives, 2,890 confiscations. Never allowed in carry-ons, yet warehouse workers and contractors habitually pack them. Single-edge razor blades, 1,440 confiscations. Barbers using traditional straight razors are frequent violators. The concerning trend: concealed blade items increased. Walking canes with hidden swords, lipstick knives, pen knives, and belt buckle blades represented 580 confiscations. Most valuable: a custom Japanese chef's knife worth $2,800 at San Francisco International. The professional chef claimed ignorance. TSA held it 72 hours until proper checking arrangements were made. Number 6. Firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Firearms, accessories, and ammunition hit 11,240 confiscations, a staggering 47% increase from 2025. This excludes actual firearms. Average value, $41. Total value, $460,840. Loaded magazines represented 5,670 confiscations. Passengers remove guns but forget magazines in backpack pockets. Loose ammunition, 3,890 confiscations. A single round triggers the same response as a loaded gun. Yet hunters, sport shooters, and off-duty law enforcement consistently violate this rule. Here's the shocking detail: 34% claimed complete ignorance that rounds were in their bags. Atlanta leads with 1,847 ammunition confiscations, followed by Dallas-Fort Worth with 1,320. These numbers correlate with high gun ownership states. Gun cleaning kits with flammable solvents, 670 confiscations violating both liquid and flammability regulations. Most unusual: a passenger at Las Vegas attempted to bring 840 rounds of mixed ammunition, 32 pounds worth, claiming they bought it on sale and didn't want to pay shipping. All confiscated plus a $13,000 civil penalty. Number 5. Prohibited electronics. Prohibited electronics saw 12,680 confiscations. This includes hoverboards, e-cigarettes with banned batteries, oversized lithium batteries, and counterfeit electronics. Average value, $178. Total value, $2,257,040, second highest after firearms. Lithium-ion batteries exceeding 100 watt-hours, 5,240 confiscations. Photographers, drone operators, and laptop users with aftermarket batteries are primary violators. Batteries over 160 watt-hours are banned entirely. E-cigarettes and vaping devices, 4,120 confiscations. These are allowed in carry-ons but prohibited in checked luggage. Confiscations occur with modified batteries or THC oil in illegal states. Counterfeit electronics emerged as new concerns in 2026. TSA confiscated 2,180 fake AirPods, Samsung tablets, and chargers linked to in-flight fires. Most expensive? A photographer at LAX had 4 cinema camera batteries at 190 watt-hours each, exceeding the 160 maximum. Combined value, $2,800. All confiscated. Number 4. Self-defense items. Self-defense items saw 14,560 confiscations, up 38%, driven by personal safety concerns. This includes pepper spray, stun guns, tasers, tactical pens, and brass knuckles. Average value: $32. Total value: $465,920. Pepper spray accounted for 8,940 confiscations, 61% of the category. It's allowed in checked luggage if 4 ounces or less with 2% or less active ingredient, but prohibited in carry-ons. Women traveling alone represent 73% of pepper spray confiscations. Most common explanation: I carry it for protection and forgot it was there. Stun guns and tasers, 2,890 confiscations, banned entirely from passenger aircraft, both carry-on and checked. Tactical pens, 1,620 confiscations. These look ordinary, but feature hardened tips for self-defense. X-ray machines identify the dense metal. Shocking statistic: confiscations increased 89% at high-crime city airports versus 14% at lower-crime areas. Newark, Memphis, St. Louis, Detroit, and Baltimore lead per capita. Most unusual? A Miami passenger had pepper spray, a tactical pen, a Kubotan keychain, and a stun gun in one purse. She was meeting an online date for the first time. TSA suggested reconsidering the meeting entirely. Do you think self-defense items should be allowed? Comment your thoughts. Number 3. Marijuana and CBD products. Here's the shocker. At number 3. Marijuana and CBD products, with 16,340 confiscations. This category exploded 127% from 2025 as state-level legalization conflicts with federal aviation regulations and cross-state travel laws. Average value: $89 per item. Total value: $1,454,260. TSA's official policy: agents don't search for marijuana, but if discovered during routine screening, they're required to refer the matter to law enforcement. The complexity? Marijuana is legal recreationally in 24 states and medicinally in 38 states as of 2026. But airports are federally regulated spaces, and marijuana remains federally illegal. Flying from Denver to Los Angeles, both legal states, still violates federal law when passing through TSA security. Flower marijuana, 6,780 confiscations. Passengers departing from legal states like Colorado, California, and Washington assume they can transport personal use amounts. Wrong. TSA refers all marijuana discoveries to local police. In cities where possession is decriminalized, police often don't prosecute. But in states like Texas, Idaho, and Georgia, passengers face arrest. Edibles, 5,230 confiscations. Gummies, chocolates, and baked goods with THC are increasingly hard to distinguish from regular food. TSA trains agents to identify packaging indicators and unusual labeling. Vape cartridges, 3,120 confiscations, overlapping with the electronics category when cartridges contain prohibited battery configurations. The most concerning trend: passengers flying to illegal states with marijuana for medical use, unaware they're committing felonies. A passenger at Chicago O'Hare was arrested after TSA found 4 ounces of marijuana edibles in their carry-on bag. They were flying to Indianapolis, where marijuana is illegal. Despite having a valid Illinois medical marijuana card, they faced drug trafficking charges in Indiana. CBD products create additional confusion. Hemp-derived CBD, with less than 0.3% THC, is federally legal under the 2018 Farm Bill. But TSA can't field test THC levels. If a product looks like marijuana, it gets referred to police for testing. Even legal CBD users face confiscation and delays. The most expensive confiscation? A passenger at Las Vegas departing to New York had $4,200 worth of high-end THC products, including specialty concentrates and designer edibles. All of it was confiscated, and the passenger received a federal warning. Number 2. Knives. At number 2, knives remain a persistent problem with 18,790 confiscations. Despite being one of the most well-known prohibited items since 9/11, passengers continue attempting to bring knives through security at alarming rates. Average value: $87 per item. Total value, $1,634,730. Pocket knives accounted for 12,340 confiscations, representing 66% of the category. The most common excuse? I forgot it was clipped to my pocket. The TSA rule is clear. No knives of any length are allowed in carry-on bags except for plastic or round-bladed butter knives. Yet passengers attempt to bring tactical knives, hunting knives, collectible knives, and everyday pocket knives daily. Swiss Army knives. 3,670 confiscations. These versatile tools are beloved by travelers but prohibited in carry-ons. TSA agents report that Swiss Army knife owners are often long-time travelers who carried them pre-9/11 and struggle to adapt to current rules. Fixed blade knives. 1,890 confiscations. Hunters and outdoors enthusiasts packing for trips forget knives in luggage that previously held camping gear. The concerning category? Disguised knives, with 890 confiscations. Comb knives, credit card knives, lipstick knives, and pen knives are specifically designed to evade detection. TSA X-ray technology identifies the metal composition, but these items require secondary screening. Here's the data that TSA doesn't publicize. 23% of knife confiscations occur at the same airports where passengers were previously caught with knives. Repeat offenders are tracked in TSA's system, and serial violators face escalating civil penalties starting at $500 and reaching $13,000 for repeated violations. The most valuable knife confiscation? A passenger at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport had a custom Japanese chef's knife valued at $3,800. The passenger, a professional chef traveling to a culinary competition, insists they declared the knife to the airline. TSA has no record of the declaration. The knife was held until the passenger returned to properly check it 3 days later. Number 1. Loaded firearms. Number 1 by a landslide. Loaded firearms. TSA seized 6,737 firearms in 2026, with 94% loaded and 42% with a round chambered. This is a 9% increase from 2025 and 284% from 2019. Average value, $624. Total value, $4,204,288. Atlanta led with 448 firearm confiscations. Dallas-Fort Worth, 397. Houston, 284. Nashville, 239. Inikabomba, 280. Cooksim, with a remittless concealed carry, see higher rates. Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Arizona, and Florida account for 47% of confiscations despite only 32% of passenger traffic. Most common explanation: I forgot it was in there. But forensic analysis shows 67% were handled within 48 hours before the flight. These aren't forgotten guns. They're actively carried and hastily packed. First offense penalties, $3,000 to $10,000 civil penalty. Loaded with chambered rounds receive maximum penalties. Criminal charges depend on state laws. Repeat offenders exist. 127 passengers caught multiple times in 2026. Record holder caught 5 times at 3 airports with loaded firearms. Combined penalties, $41,000. Demographic data. TSA tracks, 83% are male, average age 47. Most common profession, law enforcement and military traveling off-duty. Most alarming, a Newark passenger had a loaded 9mm with a 31-round extended magazine, licensed in Pennsylvania, flying to New Jersey where it was illegal, faced federal and state charges with a 15-year maximum sentence. Which item shocked you most? Comment your ranking below. Here's the reality. TSA. Confiscations aren't declining. The 2026 numbers show increases across nearly every category. Reasons include normalization of carry items, marijuana legalization conflicts, permitless carry laws, and rushed packing. The financial waste is staggering. $136 million in confiscated items in 2026 alone. The time cost affects everyone, 4.3 minutes added per discovery. A single firearm can close a lane for 45 minutes. If you're flying, empty all bags before packing, check TSA guidelines for uncertain items, and allow extra airport time. The 5 minutes checking bags saves hours of hassle and thousands in penalties. Hit like if this surprised you. Subscribe for more data-driven travel breakdowns. Comment: have you accidentally brought a prohibited item to TSA? What happened? The TSA confiscated nearly 100,000 items in 2026. Don't be a statistic. Pack smart, fly smart, and save yourself the headache. The rules aren't changing. Your packing habits should.